Hello! Hey, hi, howdy! Welcome back to my channel, Nikki Read That. Today I am doing something pretty fun. I have seen Gabby at Gabby Reads do this. If you hear noise in the background, I have my dog with me and I have laundry going, so we're just gonna make it work. I saw Gabby at Gabby Reads do this, and she did a try a chapter and try some wine along with the different wine with a different book. I got my first ever delivery of First Leaf. It is a subscription. I'm not affiliated. I wish I was, but I'm not. I just ordered some, and what it is a subscription. And what you do is you tell them your preferences when it comes to wine: white, red, rosé, sparkling, all that stuff. And then they curate a box for you of 6 wines, and they get sent to you monthly, or I have mine set up to be every 3 months. And yeah, they send you 6 boxes of wine. My first box was $9.95. All I had to do is pay for shipping. And then the following boxes, I believe, are in the range of $70 to $80 per box. I'm sure that depends on different things. I don't know if that changes or anything. I just started and I just got my delivery, and so I wanted to start this right away. I'm really excited. It is Saturday, and I just wanted to take a little bit of a sample of some wines, see which ones I like, see which ones I should give as gifts or just give away to my friends and family, and see if I can find a new thriller that I'm obsessed with. So I have 6 glasses or 6 samples of wine to try today. I haven't had any yet. And then I have 6 thrillers that have been on my shelves for a little while. They range from longer on my TBR to like brand new purchases for me. And so I'm going to be sampling my wine with those chapters. And then I'll be giving a description of the books as I go along, like from what I'm understanding of them. And I don't read a lot of synopses for books, especially thrillers. So I'm going to be going into majority of these extremely blind. I might know brief things or very vague things, but I won't be going deep into those synopses because I have been burned in the past. So without further ado, let's get started, I guess. I'm really excited. I am, they also give you like cards for the wine, like what they are and what they pair well with. So I'm gonna find real quickly the one that I'm trying first, which is called La Belle France Bordeaux Blanc. Looks like this. I took a clip of me pouring the wine, so I will insert it and show you that. This is the first one I will be trying. But here we go. It says it has notes of red apple, pear, and lemon, 12.0% alcohol by volume. This is our first one we're gonna try. And I think I'm gonna pair this one with the first chapter of My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. I did look up how to say her name, but in the time it took me to pour my wine and get all this set up, I completely forgot. So I hope that's close. Don't know anything about this. I think by the title, there is 2 sisters, and one of the sisters is a serial killer. I'm sure it gets crazy from there. I've heard some mixed reviews about this. It is relatively new, I believe. I want to say within the last few years. Yeah, 2017 is what it's saying. So I'm excited to read this one, and I will come back when I have a little bit of thoughts with what I'm reading. I should first take a sip of my wine. That's the whole, not the whole purpose, but like a huge purpose. So here we go in my Mooney Wormtail Padfoot and Prongs wine glass. Well, it's definitely bold. It's not as sweet as I kind of was hoping it would be. I do much prefer sweeter wines over bitter. and strong wines. So I don't hate it, but the aftertaste is quite pleasant actually. I do taste the pear. That's very nice actually. Would I drink an entire bottle to myself? Yes, but would I enjoy it the whole time? That's another story. So anyway, let's get started on this. Let's get to reading. Let's do it. Whatever. Here we go. Cheers. Okay, those were very short chapters, which I kind of enjoy. I read 2 chapters and I got to page 7. I will say that the writing style is extremely easy to get into. It throws you right in automatically and tells you, like, you start out on the first page with a dead body. And the sister is having to clean up this mess. And her sister is afraid that she's mad at her, and that's really all we got into. Is essentially they throw the bodies over a bridge, and she said, well, at least he won't be lonely because the other one is in the water as well. So it is exactly depicting that she has done this before, which would make sense if she's a serial killer, but I wonder how it all started. I'm definitely intrigued, and since the chapters are so short, I'm definitely putting this at the top of my list so far, just because I know that the shorter the chapters, the easier it is for me to rationalize me reading another chapter, another chapter, another chapter before I end the book, because it's so fast paced. So far so good. I'm loving this one already. I will put this at the top of my list. Enjoyed what I read of this one. I don't know, it's very interesting. And then an update on the wine. Finished it. My favorite? No, but it has to be at number 1 right now because I haven't tried another one yet. So we're gonna go pour me the second glass, a sample, because I don't want to get crazy on this. I should mention too that my main point of doing this was so that I could find my next thrillers to put into my tic-tac-toe board for my book club that I'm in. We are doing a tic-tac-toe / bingo event, and I chose to do a tic-tac-toe board because I don't want to guarantee that I'm going to read anything more than 3 books this month, and I wanted to give myself a little bit of grace in that. And if I do, I do. If I don't, no harm done. But I have 3 spaces that need to be filled with a thriller. So I am already reading The Night She Disappeared. That's what I'm already reading for the November pick of the book club. So I'm already reading that one, but I have 3 other places a thriller could go. So that's kind of the point of this as well. The top 3 will be what I read for this event, which is pretty exciting. So this is definitely a contender as of now. If I find something even better, you know, I have 3 spots, so that's always encouraging. But My Sister the Serial Killer, top of the list so far. Let's get some more wine. Okay, wine number 2. Here we go. Pinot Grigio. I have my second sample of wine, and I chose the Erste Weil Pinot Grigio. It was brewed, created, made stamped, I don't know, California in 2020. So if anything came out of 2020, I hope it was a good bottle of wine. It has notes of pear, grass, and green apple. It pairs well with sushi, chicken, capers, chili prawns, 11.6% alcohol per volume. That's the second taster. I love that they put cards in with it and tell you like what it pairs well with when thinking about meals and desserts and things like that. I think that's really, really cool. Next book I'm going to be trying is You by Caroline Kepnes. I have the second and third books in the series, and I have not watched any of the season on Netflix. And I also, let's just talk about for a second the Netflix fake sticker that doesn't come off. Let's talk about that. That irritates me. So if we could stop doing that, that would be great. We'll see. I've heard that this is creepy, and I've heard that the perspective is like the person is talking to you specifically. I'm not very interested in the series, but maybe this will change my mind about the TV series. So let's just get started. Let's taste my wine first. I don't know why I'm smelling it. That means nothing to me. It's definitely not as grab your tongue as the other one was. The other one was extremely bold. As soon as it hits your tongue, it like takes over. But this is way more subtle, but I don't know if I like that. But it is pleasant. I don't dislike it. I'm making less of like a face when I'm drinking it. I need to save some for while I'm reading. Okay, here we go. We're getting into it. You by Caroline Kepnes. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. What? This is weird. This is weird already. Am I hating it? No. I only read one chapter. So it starts out with a woman walking into a bookstore. And Joe, the main guy character, is obsessed with her, like right off the bat. Also, there's a lot of mention of her looking like Natalie Portman. That could be a thing people are into. Personally, why? But okay. There's a lot of that. I don't really understand why he's obsessed with her right off the bat. And insta love isn't, or insta obsession, I guess in this case, isn't really my forte. I don't like that because it's weird. And I guess this is supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be creepy. And it is creepy. It is very creepy. Because he's talking about her nipples, and he's talking about like how dirty she is, and kind of assuming things about her, and like making her into the person he wants her to be. Find out her name is Guinevere Beck, but she goes by Beck, and his name is Jeff Goldburn or Goldberg. And the lighting, the clouds are changing. Anyway, I'm intrigued, but also disturbed. So this is definitely number 2 on my list. This still takes the cake because it's very mysterious and I don't know a lot of what's going on. In here, I can kind of see where it's going, and I did watch like an episode, I believe, or half of an episode of the first season, so I kind of, like this part I visualize as happening in the first season. So I'm kind of like, But my sister, the serial killer, is already number 1. The wine Number 1 on my list as well, just because it didn't leave me with like a feeling when I was drinking it, but I will say that it was more subtle of a flavor than the first wine I tried. So moving on to the next book, the next sample of wine. Okay, this is the next one, Sauvignon Blanc, Every Cloud. This one looks really good. I just love the label. I just hope it's as beautiful as the label. So, I am now trying Every Cloud Sauvignon Blanc, a 2019 Monterey County, California one. It's got notes of tropical fruit, gooseberry, and honeysuckle. It pairs well with an entree salad, grilled fish, Thai cuisine, and it's 13.5% alcohol by volume. Boom! Let's taste it. Oh, also, I will be pairing this tasting with a tasting of The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I know nothing about this book, and I'm okay with that. So this one is also a gift, and it was a gift from Cameron from my book club, so thank you, Cameron, for this book. She said that she wanted to read it for a while too, so I wonder if she's read it yet. I'll have to ask her. Let's now taste my wine. Tells me nothing still, but I will still smell every single bottle or every single glass of wine I drink. I don't know why. It's like smelling a book. They all smell the same or smell like nothing, but you still do it. Oh, my laundry's done. Great. Ooh. Yes. Number 1. This is way, way good. It does have those notes of the fruitiness that I was describing, way more so. This has way more flavor than the second one, but a less like grab your tongue than the first one I tried. So this one's going to be my number 1 so far. This one's really good. Okay, perfect. Let us begin. The first sentence, I don't know a lot of things. Same. Okay. Wow. So, wow. This is going to be a difficult one. This one deals with a young girl named Eden. Her family calls her Edie. And she's a freshman, it sounds like. Just within the first pages, we find out that she was raped by her big brother's friend Kevin, and her mom walks into her covered in blood, and she thinks it's a dream. Eden does. She believes it didn't happen. She's like, no, it didn't happen. It was a dream. This could never happen to me. And she's covered in blood. Her mom comes in and tells her breakfast is ready, and she walks in and she essentially accounts it as being her period. and her mom tells her you should be keeping track of your period so it doesn't sneak up on you like this. It happens to everyone, don't be embarrassed. Go take a shower, everyone's downstairs or outside, don't worry about it. And Kevin, the bastard, is at their house currently. I guess he's her brother's best friend. Her mom always talks about how he's family, he's always welcome, and she is reverting back to the night it happened, must have been the night prior, where he's telling her, you're not going to tell anyone. No one's going to believe you. And that's where we leave it, where she's like, I just have to play my part. No one will believe me. And he's always welcome. Always. This first chapter freaking broke my heart. Ugh. I can tell this is going to make me infuriated, but also it'll bring out some just feelings in general, which I appreciate books to do. So this is definitely moving up. I think this might be my number 2 pick. I don't know, it's kind of tied right now for number 1. So yeah, wow. What a first chapter. Wow. I'm blown away. So that's definitely going to be my number 1 or 2. It kind of depends. I'm still extremely intrigued by what's going to happen in here, but the way I used to be was absolutely heartbreaking in the very first few pages. So number 1 wine choice happened, and a number tied for 1 book just happened. So let's see what the next book and the next bottle of wine has to give me. This is the 4th wine, Michiamo, Pinot Grigio. Love this label. It's beautiful. Hopefully I find another one I like. And we're back, but now we're on my phone because my camera battery died, and that's just what you call good planning. So now I grabbed the next wine was Michiamo Pinot Grigio. It's a 2020 First Leaf exclusive from Garda Doc, Italy, which is exciting. The notes are lime, grapefruit, and wet stones. It pairs well with antipasto, salty cheese, and fresh pasta. It has an alcohol volume percentage of 11.7. Let's try it after focus. I'm going to be reading next the first chapter of Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. Because I have yet to read this book, it has been recommended to me left and right. Looks like there's dual timelines. Longer chapter, the longest one we've seen. The Perfect Marriage or the Perfect Lie. Oh, this is an arc. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's try the wine first. Ooh. Ooh. I just fogged up my glass. I do like it. I like it actually equally to the last one I drank, the Clouds one. This one's good. It is fruity, and again, it doesn't have that bold kick, but it is more flavorful than that other one that I had tried. It doesn't just like dissipate as soon as you swallow it. It does linger, and it is fruity. Yeah. Second place. It's pretty good. Let's read. You'll see the butt of Callie as well, so enjoy that. I can see the appeal, okay? I can see the appeal, but it's so wordy. And I don't know, maybe I just haven't found a good domestic thriller, but this one, I don't know, they just seem posh and perfect. And there was an underlying tone of fear, maybe, or anxiousness when it comes to Jack. And Jack is the husband of Grace. And they were having a dinner party. And they were talking about, you know, the friends that were there were talking about how perfect everything was. And Jack was bragging about Grace. And Grace was in turn kind of, she just seemed very disassociated with the whole thing. Like she was forced to put on this face. And that was interesting because it was kind of like, why, like, what is happening? Why is she the way she is when it comes to Jack? It sounded like they'd only been married a year at that point, so I was wondering like what could have gone so wrong within that short amount of time to make her seem so not fearful of him but just wary of him. So I don't know, this one I'm kind of thinking I might put it maybe fourth after You, just because I just wasn't as like intrigued. I wasn't as like, what's happening, what's going on. It did leave me questioning a few things that I'd mentioned, but it wasn't enough to keep my attention the whole time. I kept kind of being like, okay, there's 28 pages in this first chapter, like how close am I to that? So I don't know, I'm sure it gets really, really good. I've heard incredible things about this book, and the fact that I hadn't read it yet, people were shocked, but it's definitely not one that I'm like, I need to continue reading this right this moment. So I will be putting it at last place for right now. The Wine tied for second, or tied for first. I do like this one a lot. It was easy on the palate. I didn't feel like I was like scrunching my face a lot. Let's continue with the next glass of wine. Here is wine number 5. Okay, we're back with our 5th wine. It was Cartesian Sauvignon Blanc in California. It is a First Leaf exclusive as well. The notes are gooseberry, grass, and whetstones. It pairs well with fried calamari, summer salad, and tuna steak. And it is 13.8% alcohol by volume. Before I taste, I will be reading The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is a book of the month pick from April of 2020. I don't have the dust jacket because I bought this secondhand. I've heard mixed reviews about this. I do know that it is a secluded thriller where I believe all of the guests are part of a wedding party or something of that nature. And they are on an island or they have to stay at this location. I don't know. Anyway, we will be reading that next. These are shorter chapters too, which I like. And it looks like we're reading from multiple perspectives. And I do like that on each perspective so far, I am seeing that they are telling the person's name and they're telling the person's relation to the story. So like, the first person is Effie, A-O-I-F-E, and it's the wedding planner. And then the next chapter is Hannah, the +1. So I do enjoy that. I hope that there's not too many perspectives though to where I get confused. I can get confused pretty easily. Plus, you know, we've had some wine. So I hope that it makes sense to me and I don't get all like confused and lost. But I do like that it tells you, you know, what perspective we're hearing from per chapter. So that there's not like a list of characters at the beginning. Sorry, nuke moved. That you have to keep referencing. I like that it says that right off the bat. So let's try the wine. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Woo! I think that might be my number 1. Oh, that's good. I don't even know how to describe it. I'm not very wordy when it comes to descriptions of things, but the last, what number is this? The last 3 that I tried are super, not super sweet to where they feel like you're drinking juice and you forget you're drinking alcohol, but they are sweeter and fruitier than the others, which I appreciate. I enjoy them to be a little bit sweeter, but they don't grab your mouth and stay there. They just leave a very nice aftertaste. So the last 3 have been really, really good, but I think this might be my favorite one of the batch so far, but we do have one more to try. So let's get into reading and see if this will be one that I'll be putting on my tic-tac-toe board. We start with The Wedding Night. First little section right there. That was strong. I think I'm going to read the next part. It's only a couple of pages and then I'll talk about it. So this next chapter though, so the first one, the first little bit said now, the wedding night. This one says the day before. Eofi? I don't know. Looks like this. I don't know what that means or how to say that, but she's the wedding planner. So we'll see what they have to say. Okay, very short, which is good. But what I gathered is that in the first little bit, it says wedding night now, and there's a storm, a ginormous storm. There's a bunch of guests at this wedding on an island, and there's a storm, and the lights are going out and they're flickering and people are scared. It sounds like the entire island is like rumbling due to the storm, and the lights turn back on after being out for 10-15 minutes and there's a body. So what? Okay, then we switch to the perspective of Eofi and her husband. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name. Was it Freddie? I want to say it was, yeah, Freddie. And she's a wedding planner, and she's the one that invited them all to her house / wedding venue. And she was talking about how you can control the day, and when everything else is out of control, you can control 24-hour period for a wedding, and she loves doing this, and it's kind of like what she was made to do. And then she talks about how she can hear the bride and groom having sex the night before, and she talks about how her and Freddie have been together for 2 decades, and how I think the last bits of it said like, you don't really know someone. Freddie and I have been together for the better part of 2 decades, and even now there are things I keep from him, and I'm sure vice versa. Makes you wonder how much they know about each other, those two, whether they really know all of each other's dark secrets. It sounds like the bride and groom, oh gosh, what were their names? Keenan, Will Slater, and Julia Keegan are the bride and groom, and it sounds like they don't know each other very well. They haven't known each other very long, and I think that's kind of what she's referencing, like how well do they really know each other. But yeah, I don't know. I would say this is probably, I mean, this is above Behind Closed Doors. Is it above you? I might have to think about that. I mean, do I want to put this on my tic-tac-toe board, like within this month? Do I want to read this book this month? Sure, why not? So it is moving to my 3rd place slot. The wine is probably going to be in my third place slot as well for those. So we did a little bit of maneuvering with the final list, which is exciting. I have one more book to go and one more wine to taste, so let's get after it. This is the 6th and final wine we will be tasting. That label, it's beautiful. The Luxana. All right. Okay, we're back with our 6th and final wine. I didn't realize how much I poured, but that's okay. It was called the Luxana Sauvignon Blanc. The notes are lime, melon, and citrus blossom. Pairs well with grilled asparagus, calamari, and soft cheese. And it is 13.7% alcohol by volume. And along with that, I will be reading the first chapter of They Never Learn by Layne Fargo, which is a stunning cover. I don't know anything about this one, which is fine. I was just looking at the naked cover. So I'm excited to try it. Looks like it is again in 2 different perspectives. Chapters are really short. Looks like we're hearing from the perspective of Scarlett, and I think the name was Carly. So I don't know what to expect from this. I believe more people enjoy this than not enjoying it, so I'm hoping that I am also in the category that love it. I have not read anything from Layne Fargo. I've also never read anything from anyone else. I believe I've read something from B.A. Paris, and that was it. But yeah, anyway, let's try the wine. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not my top 3. Oh, it's strong, but it's not bad. It's just strong. It's just strong. I don't know what else to say. I've said everything already. It's just stronger, but not as strong as the first one. The first one I can still taste. That one is a gift, okay? A gift. I don't hate it, but I'm not obsessed with it. So, first chapter, let's go. Also, this jacket is one of those textures of like the soft sticky. Do you know what I'm talking about? Not like smooth, but like kind of got some stick to it, but it's soft. I don't know. You probably don't even care. I'm sure you know. You gotta know what I'm talking about. That like silky, it doesn't matter. I don't know why I'm groping this book cover. Let's move on. The first line, I'll know it's working when he starts to scream. Mysterious. I'm not even done. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I only read 1 chapter because is this my favorite? Let's talk about it. Oh my gosh. So, we're following Scarlett. She seems to be a teacher at a college. She teaches literature. This boy, okay, hold on. We start with her in a garage, and she's talking about the weights on the floor, and this boy named Tyler, who was in her literature class, about how his workout routine and this drink he drinks for his workouts, and he posts everything online, which scares me because people don't realize how much of their lives are seen, and if you put too much on there, people can find you and kill you, and that's what happens in this first chapter, okay? She's lurking in the shadows, and she talks about how she shouldn't be there, and he's lifting weights, he's so strong, and he takes a drink of this horrendous drink that he drinks every morning with his workouts, and she poisoned it. And all he's like seizing on the ground, he's like, and she's like standing over him, and she's like, I should not be here, but I want to see this. And he's like, why? And she goes, Megan, what was this girl's name? Holy crap. Megan Foster. And she's like talking in her head about like, he's probably like, it wasn't me, I didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. And it also talks about how, you know, she was pinned to the bed. Megan was pinned to the bed. And it sounds like she was like gang raped, which is awful. And then Scarlett is talking about like how she loves making a spectacle of men who do bad things. Like it said, you guys, this is not her first murder. Nay. It sounds like he didn't get justice. Like she felt that Megan Foster didn't get justice for what was done to her, and she's like preying on the people who did it, and she's wanting to make a spectacle of that abhorrent night, and Tyler's sin was the worst of it because apparently he was sober and everyone else was kind of intoxicated or on drugs. She takes a photo of the sunrise and posts it from his phone to his Instagram and says, quote, last run, last sunrise, sorry for everything. And it sounds like this was not her first murder. So, the last line, who's smiling now, mother? And I did not read from Carly's perspective because I already know this is going into my number one spot. Number one right there. Wow. What a start. What a start. Sounded like she said 16. I have to find it. I thought she said something about 16 people she's done this to. Oh, so sorry. The 16 was how many years she's been doing this crap. She said, quote, true justice would have been bolting the fraternity house doors and setting the whole place on fire, burning every one of those boys in their beds. I might not even have needed to douse the place in kerosene first, considering every surface is sticky with spilled alcohol. But I can't kill them all, not unless I want to get caught. I've spent the past 16 years murdering men who deserve it, and I'm not about to get sloppy now. Winner. Ding, ding, ding. Not a winner for the wine, but a winner for the book. So, we have read 6 first chapters, tried 6 bottles of wine. I have found the 3 books that I will be putting onto my TBR for this month for my tic-tac-toe board, and they are, number 1, They Never Learn by Layne Fargo. So good. What the heck? And I just got that one too. I just thrifted it. So that's exciting. That's now in my possession. Number 2, My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. And number 3, The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. And that, folks, is the list that I will be reading first and foremost. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. I really appreciate any likes, any subscriptions, any shares, any comments that you might want to share with me. Let me know what you're currently reading and if I should put it on my TBR as well. Also, let me know if you've read any of these and where you would rank them, if you agree with my ranking or if you don't. This was really fun. I really enjoyed this. I'm actually gonna pour myself the #1 spot of my wine and actually start They Never Learn. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. So I hope you guys had a fantastic Halloween and that you continue enjoying the holidays coming up, staying safe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.